Character coaching series. I think this is our third guest coming on to get coached today, and I'm super excited to have her. Before she hops on, I did want to mention that I sent an email earlier today to the entire list of mine about an upcoming offer where I'm going to be training on Instagram stories. So I wanted to add a brand new Instagram stories bonus training to my Insta Stories Sales Secrets program. And I'm inviting you to join thank you, Karina. I'm inviting you to join the live training where I add more juice to this program. So if you're interested in that, you can slide in my DMs, but I will be talking about it, but I'm not going to talk about it for long. It's going to be real quick because the training is going to happen next week. And it's you can make it or you can't make it. It's going to be super low price just so that, if you feel like you need to learn the skill of selling in your stories, this is perfect for you. But without further ado, I think our guest has joined the live. Go ahead and request to join so you can come up to the stage for main character coaching. I'm so excited. We have some good juice planned. So here she is. Oh my
Yay!
gosh. Hi.
Hello,
How
hi.
you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm so good. You look absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you because I did dress like her maybe like a year ago.
I
Yeah,
love
but I'll be really honest, I do this rental subscription because I have nothing in my wardrobe and I couldn't get the bottom half together. So I was like, it's like 2020 Zoom.
it.
It's a party up here and we don't have to worry about,
Amen.
anything else.
Yeah, I was stalking your Instagram. I saw that it's Newly, right? Is that your subscription?
Yeah, yeah.
I
They're amazing.
Are they? See, I did Rent the Runway once and I didn't love it, but I feel like Newly's different, so maybe I need to look into that.
Yes, I think you would love it. And then just a hot tip is when you are picking your closet, Google new at Newly and go for the newer items as well. Yeah,
That's insider info. I love that.
yeah.
Well, I'm really excited that you're here today. I cannot wait to coach you up. I loved your application, but before we just tell us where you live, where you're from, tell us your name and what you do so that everyone understands and we're all on board before we dive into the coaching.
Okay, amazing. Well, my name's Rebecca, and I live in Portland, Oregon, but I was born and raised in Texas. And if my fiance is listening right now, he's probably rolling his eyes. I love everybody to know that because I love Texas. I love where I'm from. I'm a Southern girl, not this West Coast stuff. But I love it here. I love it here. I'm kidding. And so I am a community builder and organizer primarily in the outdoor industry, but I also am in the fitness spaces because I teach turn up and I teach other, different fitness formats. And it's been an incredible journey because what I create mirrors a lot of what I went through, which was just being so totally lost and learning how to use movement to really come back to who we are, like again and again and again, as many times as it takes. And these spaces really empower people to bloom. And that might sound a little cheesy, but it's true. And it's a process. And when you're doing the work alone or you're doing the work in the dark, there's no one there to tell you good job. There's no one there to say oh my God, I just see that progress you're making. Only you know that. But when you start to move in a space that is with other people who are seeking the same thing that you are, who so badly believe in you and they're starting to believe in themselves, I feel like magic really, really starts to happen. So the root of it is just movement, but for the purpose of being as you possibly can. And I always tell people when I talk, I feel like I sound like such a cheese ball, but I mean every single thing that I say. And I think people start to pick up on that once they get into my classes or workshops, and they're like, okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I love your message. I love your mission. I love what you stand for. I am obviously completely aligned with that. I know you know a little bit about me and what I do, and I love that mission that you're building and that you've already built. It sounds like outside of social media. One thing that I would coach you on, and the only reason that I feel like I have the green light to do this is because your last statement on your question box was, let's make this an ego death. Um,
Yeah.
so the first thing that I actually want to like call you out on with love is you mentioning twice that this transformation is cheesy and you're apologizing
Mm-hmm.
for it. And so you're not
Mm-hmm.
owning it as much as I think you want to. And that's I all I can hear from that is that you're questioning how powerful you actually are. However, you did mention that you built this movement and created these spaces because it's personal to you. So if something's personal to you and you've been through it and you want to hand over this transformation, you got to stop calling it cheesy because it's not cheesy. So that's the first thing that I would say. Now,
I
I
love
want
it.
to open this up because I actually don't think you believe it's cheesy at all. I think you're assuming
Mm-hmm.
that other people might think that. I don't think that you actually feel that way at all. So let's speak with full conviction here.
Okay.
Um, with that being said, you do have a full-time job alongside of what you're building, correct?
Yeah, like just for like reference, like 80-hour work week, like a gross amount. But and you're like kind of the first to hear on social. I start a new job in a couple weeks.
Yay.
Which I could like cry saying that. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to like a 35, 40-hour work week, which is so exciting.
I love that. That's so cool. Karina says, I don't feel that way at all listening to your story. It's remarkable. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm excited for you for this new job and to take like that time cut away. I think that's going to help you a lot. I did the same thing like early in my journey. I took a multi six-figure pay cut to step back so that I could focus on my business more. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I am really excited for you. Um, let's get into it. So
Okay.
just so that everyone watching can understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rebecca, but you have built a community off social media. So, like you mentioned, you have classes, you have community, you have this space, you've been recognized. I think you said on PBS, like other, like you have this proven magic to you where you know how to build community, but there's a block for you when it comes to social media. Is that accurate?
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, before I like pick this apart, and like I said, I did study your social media because I pulled that from your application for sure. Tell me more about your blog on social media. Like what is that what is the story around that and what do you feel when you go to post and why do you
Yeah.
think
Uh-oh. Oh, there
this?
you are.
Oh, sorry.
Um, no, you're great. You said what's the story around the block of social, right?
Like tell me about that experience or that feeling of when you're like, okay, I'm about to post and I feel like it's not free flowing.
Yeah, I just, the best way I can describe it is if I could tell all the people who I love and who love me, and like I feel like they'd be so insulted because they really do love me. They have my back. If they could just like look away for the next 5 years, I would be so solid. I feel like I mean, I do. I can step into a room of 50 people I don't know, and I just like own that space because I'm like, you don't know me, and but I know me. But when it comes to the people I love, I'm just like, no, like you don't need to watch this. Like this is not about you. This is not about us. And that, like, honestly, that's it.
Okay. What do you think that they're going to think about you? Like, what is the fear?
A lot of eye roll, which, yeah, and I think a lot of like, what the hell is she doing now? Which I'm like, these people have been with me through like since the beginning. So if anything, they know march to the beat of my own drum. Like I've always been so me.
Mhm.
Um, but in the last 5 years, it's like exponentially like opened up. And I'm terrified of it. And so I just am like, oh, I don't like, I'm still me though, and like I still love you, and this isn't going to change our dynamics, but it's just like that fear is, you know.
Yeah. Um, I don't think you're alone in that at all. Sammy even commented so relatable.
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I resonate with that as well. My question is, when is the most recent time, and you don't have to give details, but as far as timeline, when is the most recent time that someone has in your circle, like in your close knit circle, someone has said to you, like, what are you doing? Like, has questioned you, or you felt lack of support for showing up on social media specifically? When's the last time that happened?
It's always like in not direct, like, how do I say it? Like maybe they're not specifically speaking to something I've done, but it's more like language around that um that world. Like I think a lot of people who I love are just like they don't get using social as a tool, and I think it's such a powerful tool. And I get there's downsides, but I don't care about, I'm not worried about those. So
Wait,
there's a lot, and I,
a second. What are the downsides?
there's a lot of talk like in my circles of just like influence culture and just how it's all performative and fake. And I'm like, okay, maybe, but I'm not that.
Mm,
And the people who like you, like people who I have been in your world for years, like I wouldn't be here if I thought that. You know what I mean?
right. I have so much to say about this. And I first have to just say, like, thank you for being vulnerable and bringing this up because I think that this is a very real topic for so many people. So I think you coming on here, first and foremost, is proof that you're very strong. Um,
Mhm.
it's crazy because I've worked with so many women up to this point and even in my own journey, and it's like the people closest to you can hurt the most. Like they can be the first to tear you down and like impact you because there's no piece of this where you get to just remove the fact that you care about what they think. Like you love them, you want them to support you, and in a perfect world, they would say, "Go, Rebecca, you can take over the world and you can do whatever you want." But unfortunately, sometimes they're watching this, and if we were to, for just one moment, make up a story about what they are perceiving is number one, they might be looking at you and thinking they want to protect you and they want to keep you safe and they don't want you to fail. So you get to choose in this moment whether you feel like they're going to slow you down, or you can look at them and you can understand that maybe that's where they're coming from. They want to make sure that you're not going to embarrass yourself or feel hurt from whatever happens by you putting yourself out there. Now, another thing can be true, and it could be that they have some sort of like jealousy a little bit about your willingness to be free spirited in the public eye, and they want some of that. And their way of expressing that is by trying to keep you small. Now,
Mm,
I would choose the first, the former, to, it's just like that would be better on my heart to think about, they just want to keep me safe. And no part of your journey is going to be you convincing them to cheer for you. And so this is where this does get sometimes a little bit lonely, but this is where like I would suggest doing things like we're doing today, or like getting, you don't get rid of that circle, but you create boundaries. And so maybe it's like you spend a little bit less time in that circle and you find this new circle where it's normalized to do what you do, where it's like you actually feel like, holy crap, me not doing this feels ridiculous because all these other people are like going full force into it and they're actually pulling on me and they're saying like, more, Rebecca, like put more out there. And so you have to, first of all, you have a very strong vision. Like it's jumping off of your application. It's jumping off
mm,
the page. And you're wanting so badly to like get out there and take over the world that to me, it sounds, I want to say silly for lack of a better word, but I also understand how you feel. But it sounds silly that we would let these people dictate any sort of movement forward for you. Having said that, the moment that you fully believe, and I would need more time with you to uncover and unravel this, but the moment that you fully believe in what you're doing, everyone else is going to get on board. So there's an element to this that I can see that you're still 1 foot in. You're still like,
mm,
I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm not sure if I'm worthy enough for this to become as big as I want it to. And people that can smell that for whatever reason, they affect you because you're not fully sold on yourself yet. And that takes time. It really does. But the moment that you're fully sold and the moment that you're in momentum and you're in action and you cannot be slowed down for whatever reason, they will be like, holy crap, Rebecca. Or they'll be like, holy crap, Rebecca, what are you doing? And you'll be like, I don't care. I don't care what you think. Like it will not, it's like, don't care. So that's the first thing that I would coach you on. Is there any, I know that we have some other things to get to and I want to give you some tangibility, but I want to pause because that's a heavy topic. Do you have any further questions or how does that feel? Is there anything that you want to go into deeper when it comes to like that part of your world right now?
I love it. Thank you. I love it. I love it. And no, it's great. It's so good. And I would say that in the last like even 2 months, there's been a shift that has felt really cool. And I yeah, it's like still like tiptoeing on that line, but like closer than ever before. And that's always like exciting. Even like doing something like this, like still like could crawl under a rock and die. But I was like, well, I'm not like, I feel like you'd appreciate this story. I had been manifesting an opportunity to work with you just because like we're about to have a wedding, like there's all these like financial things happening in my life. So I know like that day is coming, but I was like actively manifesting. And then a couple days later, you put out the application for
Wow.
this. And I was like, no, I can't. And I was like, you literally asked for this. Like, you, like, I don't care how much you want to die. Like, you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm being a little dramatic, but it just was very a powerful moment. And I was like, all right, well, here we go, because you're not going to say no, you know?
Hell yeah.
And when you, when you posted the application, we were about to lose service for like days, and I was like, and so I was just on my phone, like, and I could see where we were about to like hit, and I would have no more service. And I was trying so hard to like get it all in, and I was like, well, it's up to God now. I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. That gave me goosebumps. I love that story so much. And I believe in that so, so much. I was just, this is like totally like off topic, but the other night I was like praying to God and I was like, I just need a sign that I'm going to be okay and like everything's going to go my way. And for whatever reason, I was like, I would like this sign to be like something blue. And I don't know why that just like landed for me. I was like, anything blue. And I kid you not. And within the next 24 hours, I was walking my dog and our neighbor has like very young children. And this little boy, he's like 6 years old. He ran across the street and he said, Miss Chandler, have you ever seen a blue soldier truck? And he like held it out. And I literally was like, I'm gonna start bawling. But anyway, all of that, like I fully believe in that. And I'm honored that I got to be part of that story for you. Also, I was very like appreciative and impressed, I guess. I mean, I know you're not trying to impress me by any means, but I approved your application and you scheduled your time immediately. And I was like, that's my type of people. Like, I love that so much.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah, so you're a beast and I love that. So, okay, I want to dive into, um, let's talk about your content. And you said, what am I not being honest about and how am I hiding? What the hell am I so worried about? And why do we say we want to be seen but do everything to avoid it? Gonna be more specific with my prayers, Sammy said. Yeah, dude. Ask
Mhm.
ask God for everything. Like that's I believe in that fully. Okay, so with those questions, when you think about creating content, like let's get strategic here because I want you to be able to walk away from this and be like excited to post something that feels in alignment, but also you should feel like a little my sister just texted me and said, is it National Dog Day? I kid you not. Like what a weird question. When you're
She's like over there worried about Fancy like not getting like her day or something.
yeah. What? When you go to post content, you should feel like you're getting to your edge a little bit. You should feel like, oof, like this feels a little stretchy. This feels like a little uncomfy, not to the point where you're going to like move out of integrity with your message and your mission, but it should like you should get chills from your own post. So I want that to be normalized and feel natural. Like if you're not feeling that, we're doing something off. Like even when I go live with you here, I'm before we go live, I'm nervous as hell. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I hope I coach good enough. Like and I live for that feeling. That feels good to me. Like I'm alive. Like I'm doing something right when I feel that way. Um, as far as your content, walk me through you have a business, you have a community outside of social media. When it comes to your online business, what do you want to create? Like, what is the transformation of the online offer?
Oh, well, I just got very, very specific for the first time this week. I want to start with a with a, I guess like Discord. I'm going to use that as an example.
Okay.
Um, I want to offer a space and I want to be able to open, the invite, but there's also people on my list that like I want to send a specific invite to. And I want it to be a space for, women like me who are in the process of building something.
Mhm.
And then every week I want to give them prompts. I want to talk about like what's working, what's not working, resources, bring in like, say if I was like, hey, Chandler, can I hire you to come do an hour workshop with them? And this was the first time like I got so specific with, I'm looking at my list right now, but with what it's going to look like and like how I'm going to execute it.
Mhm.
Um, so much so I just lost your question. You said
No,
what I want to bring online.
what's
Yeah.
the information? So if they're gonna come in and let's say this is it, do you have like a time frame? Is it a 30-day challenge or like how long is this gonna be? And then what's the transformation that you want them to leave with? So like they come in a certain way and they leave changed by what?
Yeah, well, I was almost thinking of this one as like, so the first 6 weeks, like it is free, which like the value that is huge. Like almost where it makes me a little nervous because I know how much value I can provide. But what I'd like is that, you're in here for 6 weeks and like you're gonna get out as much as you put in. But then at the end of that 6 weeks, there's gonna be opportunity to sign on for a longer ongoing program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay. 6 weeks is it's a long time and it's a short time. My challenge to you, just because of this common theme that keeps coming up, is you kind of questioning your ability to turn this into something massive. I would not do 6 weeks for free. And there's a
Okay.
couple. I first and foremost, like I don't run my business by any means to like I don't lead with money first ever.
Mhm.
And it doesn't sound like you're going to do that either, which is amazing, but at the same time, it's a business. So there's two things here. First of all, 6 weeks for free, you're selling yourself short. Like that is, you're worth more than that. But also on the other end, you can imagine if someone were to sign up for a free thing for 6 weeks and they have no skin in the game, how invested are they going to be showing up to your calls or showing up to your prompts or committing to the consistency that you want to see out of them in the community, etc. There's no skin in the game. So it's like any time that you've downloaded something for free, most of the times like it sits in my email. So it's like you need to
Mhm.
make sure that you understand that from the customer perspective as well. A lot of times the price tag of something isn't just based off of the value that you can provide. It's based off of like, who do you want to call in? And someone who signs up for
Mhm.
that for free and they don't want to pay, they might not necessarily be your ideal client. So, however, there's nothing wrong. I love like a free what's called a launch vehicle into a longer program. So maybe you do this for a week, let's say 7 days, and it's a sneak peek
Mhm.
what you're going to do. And then at the end of 7 days, you can even do low ticket. Again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy because you're just starting out and you're practicing and you want to prove that you can get people results. But you say, at the end of 7 days, I'm taking this challenge and I'm extending it 5 weeks longer than this first week. So then it's a 6 week
Mhm.
program. And you invite them in. And that's what that would look like. And so as far as like the deliverables, you mentioned you want to like give them prompts and how to build something. When you say build something, describe what that means. Like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, ideally with this group, they're already in the process. So let's say I have a friend and she has her online fitness business and she does well. Um, but like when it comes to things like this, like social or just even showing up
Mm-hmm.
and like sharing more about what she does, she is such a ray of sunshine, but I watch her every day just like get in
Mm-hmm.
her own way.
Yeah.
So like even just coaching on, and I think because like I'm so used to public speaking and even speaking on film and whatever, that's where I can like really help people. And then, naturally that transfers to things like social or even just like if you're going to a networking event, like how are you going to stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Like And then just like also, I see with a lot of people I work with, they don't know how to organize, or like they have so many wonderful ideas, but they have like too much going on that there isn't like a structure that's working for them. They're just like getting buried under that. And so it's like prompts like, let's like tell me about what's on your plate. Tell me about what your goals are for this week, and then let's distill that into like very tenable action items so that
Mhm.
you're walking away with a plan and like you have a clear vision of what you're executing on this week rather than like looking at it all and being like, I don't know, you
Okay.
know?
Okay. Yes, this sounds very good. I love this. One thing to note is it does sound like you're adding in multiple different angles to this to help someone, which
Mm-hmm.
is beautiful. And I love that so much. As far as marketing this opportunity, you need to have a through point. So, that through point, in my opinion, especially if you're going to be coming at this challenge in a way of like, I'm doing this for me and I'm inviting you to come in and we're going to do it together. I like that approach, especially like for your first online thing, even your second or your third, like coming that's how Tansy built her own business, by the way. Is she was like, I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
my own 30-day challenge and you're welcome to join. And the entire empire was built on like what she was doing for herself, and she brought people in, and that's how she built a community. It's gold. So as far as like your through point, I do think especially something for you that would be really good for like a personal challenge is social media. So your through
Mm-hmm.
point is like I'm bringing you into this space because I know that I am meant to be someone, and I want to remove my whatever fear and gunk is in my way of like having a block towards social media. That's my goal for this challenge. And my goal is that I'm going to be posting X amount of times per week, and I'm going to get better and better and better at it. And I have plans and I have prompts and I have things that I want to try, and you're welcome to join this challenge, and I will hold you accountable and you'll hold me accountable, and we're going to do it together. Now that's the through point. So people know for a
Mm-hmm.
fact, it's very clear. I'm going to join Rebecca's challenge and we're going to be consistent with social media posting, and they will see themselves in you because you're going to be describing like, yeah, I have like this desire to be seen, while I have like this duality of like I don't want to be seen and I want to tap into what that is. And so people will be like, oh, me too, like I need to join this, that sounds amazing. Now all the other things that you have ideas for when it comes to like describing how are you going to stand out at networking events, or how are you going to organize like the priority items on your list, you include that once they get in the doors if you want to. Like if you, this is part of like coaching, is you will have to know once people get into your door, your main mission is the social media challenge. But if you're recognizing like, okay, this group of women, like they have networking events coming up, I need to train them on how to stand out at a networking event, then you add in that brief mini training.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they don't need that and you don't know that yet. And that could be a separate training down the line, like a totally different challenge where it's like you train people specifically on how to find networking events and also how to stand out at networking events. And that's a totally different challenge. Um, but this first one, like I would stick with what your goal is, which is social media, and bring people in to join you, and you celebrate them when they are doing the things. You celebrate yourself, you do it together, you build this like-minded community, and you just keep going and going and going, and you get better and better along the way. And I do love that idea of like you, I mean, there's a ton of social media coaches. Like you can invite them in and say, can you do a 30-minute training on reels, like get specific. Can you do a 30-minute training on stories? Like can you talk to us about how to um, be a better storyteller, like whatever you're looking for, because you'll find those gaps in the people in the room, and you need to be hyper aware of like what do they need and how can I deliver. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the challenge. And you bring in people who, like you said, they're already underway. Like you might have a fitness business, you might just be a fitness group instructor, but you want to start building your personal brand online. Like, come on in, let's do this. You might be a career woman and you're like, how do I build a presence online in case I potentially want to start a business? Like, you have no idea. There's so many people that want to post online and they feel the same way you do, where they're like, I feel blocked. Like, I don't know what it is, but something's in my way. And you are going to the extreme of getting them in action to post, but doing what you do, which I can feel from you so heavily, is you're getting to the root cause of why they don't want to post or why they think that they don't know how. Like
Hmm.
you are getting to that underlying cause of you have a visibility block. Why do you have that visibility block? Maybe we need to understand like how did you grow up or what type of relationships do you have right now that are helping you stay safe in that not being visible thing. So it's like you take it there and you have fun with it and you play with it. But that's the entire challenge. So I just talked for a very long time. How does that feel? Do you have any questions? All the things.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I think my only question is, you know, if you, let's say in a world like one person shows up,
Hmm.
and like for me, when the few times I've had like one person show up to one of my classes, I'm like, oh, I gotta pour even more in because like they probably feel uncomfortable because they're like, wait, now all the attention's on me. So I like really like care a lot about like even turning it up more than I already do because I'm like, I want you to feel like this was worth it, and I'm sure you're feeling uncomfortable. I don't say that to them, but so like for me, I'm like, okay, I would want to carry that same mindset. Like if I opened something up like that, and then I just have that one person, like, but I guess my question is, how do you have you been in that place and like what did you do?
Good question. Okay. I want to ask you this before I dive into some coaching. If I were to open up a group program on, um, I'm doing a 7 day challenge where I'm going to give you a prompt every single day to post on social media. Okay. And Rebecca, you're like, I need that challenge. And you sign up with me. And then you get inside, and on the start date, you realize you're the only one in the room. Do you feel uncomfortable or do you feel like I'm going to get her under attention?
Oh, I'd be psyched out of my mind, and I'd be like, hopefully, like she doesn't cancel this.
And I would never. Um, so I think the reframe of you assuming that they feel uncomfortable or awkward, the reframe needs to come in. Like if you get one person, first of all, you've done your job, you got one person in. And you get like what a privilege for that one person. They get to have your undivided attention and you get to really turn them into your mission where you partner with them and you get them results. And the moment that this one person gets results and you can talk about that and you have receipts to show like they had a good time and a good experience with you, your business takes off when you have testimonials like that. So the fear of like not getting a ton of people in, it's real. Like we all have it. That never goes away. But anytime that I'm launching something, and I just told a client this yesterday on a one-on-one call, anytime I'm launching something, I think of it, I don't write down like the number of people I want in. Like I don't work well with that. So I don't think to myself I want 100 people in and then I try to go get 100 people. I think to myself, my one job here is to get one person in this room and I'm going to blow their mind. I'm going to literally change their life and I'm going to give them everything I've got. That one person might turn into 100, might turn into 10, might just be one. And I'm okay with that because I know for a fact I have this long term vision where it's like it might be one person tomorrow or next week or next month, but next year it's going to be 1,000. And the year after that, it's going to be 10,000. And I don't care. I'm going to keep going. You can't slow me down. That's my mentality. And my main goal is just to help people. I like doing that. You love doing that. Like you like connecting with other women and touching them and helping them. And so that's my thought process there. And who's to say, like, if I were to write down my goal is 100 women, who's to say that what if I got 1,000? You know what I mean? So it's like you can't sell yourself short by thinking I want X amount of people in this room or by being afraid like what if only one person comes in? One person is great. Does
Okay,
that-
love it. I love it. Yes.
okay, amazing. Any other questions on your program piece?
No, I actually have a question, like, but it's so specific. And
Yeah.
it's just like if I were to say, what is like the one course of yours that you would be like if you knew I could do one,
Hmm.
which one would it be?
That's a really good question. Um, I think like hearing your goals right now and hearing your plan. I mean, the takeover is honestly like the place to be. I know that that's a little bit more, it's like higher ticket. The takeover, you're going to get every course. So it's like that is my mastermind. It's a 6 month commitment. Yeah, Sammy. And it is like we are very close knit. Like you'll hear from me weekly. If not, I mean, you can ask questions in there daily. So it's super high proximity and it's like a magical space to be. That's my mastermind. Outside of that, according to your goal of creating this program and you want to launch it and you want it to like do very well, I would actually say that the sold out launch, it's currently underway. Like we're in sold out launch.
Mm, mm-hmm.
But if you DM me, I can send you a link to that because I think that's going to walk you through how to set up a launch, how to create specific content that is like in line with the phases of the launch. Um, and so I would definitely suggest that one. I am laughing at Sammy talking about Made You Look. Made You Look changed my entire view of social media. Look was like I do feel like that could be a good one too. And that's lower ticket than sold out launch. And Made You Look is all about basically like finding your voice and finding a way to take up space with your content. So that could be applicable as well. And that one, it'll definitely change you from the inside out. So that could be fun. And you could get some ideas from that one. If you did that one, you could get some ideas for your social media challenge. That's another thing is like I want you to learn from me. And then my whole goal and my whole mission is to turn you into a beast and like be part of that journey. So anything you learn from me, like go teach it better than I taught it. Go learn it, apply it to your own social media and go make it better and give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say the takeover number one is like going to be the place that's going to support you the heaviest, but any courses like self-paced courses is sold out launch or made you look. And if you want the information on those or the links to those or you have any questions, you can DM me after this and I'm happy to have a conversation with you there. But yeah, any questions on those things?
No, that's great. Thank you. Ah,
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I'm so
oh,
grateful
thank you.
time to join this and apply. I feel honored to be part of your journey and I will be cheering for you. So you got to keep me posted on all the things. Um and I want to have like a follow up with you in a year and I want to know exactly like we should come back on live and we should have a discussion
Yes.
how far you've come. But hopefully I get to see you in some of the like maybe the mastermind eventually or like some of the spaces and all the things. And I know you said you have a wedding coming up, like so much fun things happening for you.
Thank you so, so much. I'm so grateful and it's been like years. And I just like want to reiterate, I think what Sammy said on maybe it was y'all's live in that like it's so, so, so cool to watch you like go, I've watched you go through different businesses, but then to like land where you're just like, like not that it wasn't like that before, but where it just like felt like all the pieces came together. That's just so cool and special and congratulations. And it's very fun.
Thank you. I that made my day. I will be thinking about that for a while. Thank you so much. Thanks for seeing me. Thanks for I
Oh.
crazy you were in dressed like her. Like what a throwback. But I appreciate you. Yeah. I love you so much and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Mwah. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.